The stuff is getting crazy. I'm telling you, more exposure is coming. We've been saying all along that everything that has been hidden will come to light, prophetically speaking, as well as all of this conspiracy stuff is being brought to your attention so you can believe it or not, and more of it will come to light. Now, just recently, today, Jacob Rothchild apparently died at 87. So this is going around, as well as other news about Epstein. Now, I'm going to show you a clip here in a second, but basically, a lot of this treasure trove of evidence, this house of sin, and just all this stuff, and people coming out of the woodwork, giving testimony, and saying that all of what's happened, that people have written off as, oh, that's conspiracy, oh, what people do, the celebrities, and all of this crazy crimes against humanity, and what they do behind closed doors with the C word, committing the P word, and just all the stuff, right? Unaliving, as well as the SA, and all whatever that we think is unfathomable in the perspective from a spiritual sense of Satan desiring to bring you in to the lust of your desires, and giving it to these people so that they, in exchange, can have power and wealth and influence is not far-fetched, right? And so let me show you this clip really quickly, talking about witnesses and all of this stuff that's now coming to light, and then we'll talk quickly about it.
People who are still being protected. Is there any explanation for keeping all of these records still? The FBI's search warrant results, some of the tapes that were recovered, the hard drives, all that. Is there any explanation for the FBI and others keeping that secret other than they're trying to cover up for people?
Well, there's no good explanation. There is an FBI report which names all the names, and the names have been redacted. And I have formally requested the redacting of those names, and the judge hasn't done it. The FBI hasn't done it. There are people whose names should be disclosed. I'll give you a couple of examples. The lady Rothchild, who introduced me to Jeffrey Epstein, and we think introduced Bill Clinton to Jeffrey Epstein, and maybe Prince Andrew. Her name hasn't come up at all, and yet she was as close to Jeffrey Epstein as anybody could possibly be during the period of time when he was doing some of these things. So that's a name that should be disclosed. There are other names. Leslie Wexner's name has been disclosed.
Who's protecting him?
You know, there are rich and powerful people who have access to both political figures and judicial figures and the media.
You've said that you think that Jeffrey Epstein had blackmail on people of a sexual nature, which would explain why he was getting money to manage and how he amassed some of his wealth. Now that you've seen the latest trove of documents and some of the accusations there, is it clear to you, having been in the law for so long, that there's more out there of a blackmail nature, that there is evidence of blackmail that's being covered up?
I have no doubt about it. And look, Jeffrey Epstein once told me, I said to him when he was being prosecuted, who do you have to worry about? And he, somebody close to him, I mentioned the name, and he said, no, don't have to worry about him. He's not going to say anything. I have too much on him.
So that was Alan Dershowitz. And the thing that you got to realize about what's happening now is that more and more evidence is coming out for which what was deemed conspiracy 5-10 years ago is obviously progressing to the degree for which, okay, maybe it wasn't conspiracy. It's conspiracy reality. All of these documents for which somebody said 10 years ago that he has an island, all of this blackmail of nefarious activity, you know, the SA word, right, with kids, and you got the P word, all of these crazy things that billionaires and politicians and people from all over, celebrities, they're doing these things. It's nefarious stuff. Were written off by the media, by everybody. You have no proof. You have none of this stuff. But what constitutes proof? If you don't have witnesses, if you don't have documents, if you don't have pictures and photos and videos, all of this is part of what's happening right now with all of the Epstein stuff. Now, the other thing I want to say is that we're in a season, I've said before, we're in a season, prophetically speaking, of great exposure. We're in a season for which you're going to be bombarded with information, and it's going to be mixed with lies and a lot of, you know, skewing the truth, bending it, however you want to say it. And you have other people on the other side saying that, no, that guy is wrong. Trump is wrong. This person's wrong. And you're going to have people that are going to be projecting, they're going to be arguing, and for the sake of clouding the airwaves, confusing people. Because again, we are in an information age for which information that you consume, whether it's the first thing you hear and people latch onto it, or whether it's a correction of some sort, or for which you have to do some digging and you have to say it's deeper than what the title says. All of these guys are giving you information and people are skewing it. And this is their chance to either cover it up or to redeem themselves by saying, okay, this is true. Let me correct it. Let me, in fact, tell you that what I believed before was from a top-down nature. Somebody told me to say this, and it's not the truth. And so a lot of this in this season is separating the wheat from the chaff, getting to the bottom of it, having the energy, the fortitude to say, okay, maybe humbling myself, okay, what I believed was wrong and what the conspiracy theorists and the people that are trying to tell the truth, I'm trying to filter through that and try to really understand what's happening. This is that season that we are in. And it's exposing the demonic forces, the nature of what's happening so that you can pray against it, you can know, be educated, you can protect yourself, your family, your kids, and you can move forward into this next age with clarity, and you can receive the truth. The truth will set you free. And so right now, we are experiencing all of these deaths, right? I've said before, Rothchild has passed away, and you have all these other celebrities, people that supposedly died, and other people like Epstein. He didn't kill himself, right? Elon Musk just tweeted about that. Many people have said this. Just dig into it. It sounds fishy. Why would he kill himself? And many other celebrities are for the purposes of safety and witness protection, I believe, and many others are believing this, that they died, they unalived themselves, or they passed away, or whatever it is, for a reason, which is to be part of this greater operation so that the bad guys wouldn't go after them if they're off the map. And again, watch any of these crazy movies, right? These spy movies. If you're off the grid, no one's going to come after you. And so from the white hat perspective, I believe that there's going to be many people who have quote unquote died, and maybe they will choose to come back publicly, or they will, for the rest of their life, choose to be dead, right? A lot of people talking about Michael Jackson, a lot of people talking about other celebrities that have recently passed away, maybe quote unquote due to COVID or some other things, but they're really not dead. And so this theory, again, I'm not putting my stamp of approval on any of these things. I'm just talking about the possibility of what this is, right? Which is for the greater good of bringing out the bad guys and trying to go through this whole ordeal of figuring it out, the moles, the double agents, whatever it is. They said their piece to the white hats, to the military, whoever it is, and then they went off the grid because for the sake of the mission, there was something else. And again, I don't know the chess pieces that are being played, but it's a strategy for a bigger purpose. And so whoever this is, that's giving, evidence, the witnesses, and so many other things, they're being protected, I believe, by the white hats. And there's something else going on for which those that publicly need to be, and again, you can bring in clones, you can bring in masked figures, you can bring in all these different things that people talk about. The point is that it's not what it seems, right? Not all of it can be taken at face value. I've always said this before, but just because the public needs to know something, right? That's not the highest order of priority versus the objective or the agenda of the greater mission at play. So if it means that you're quote unquote lying to the public and you're making sort of this theater, and again, I've talked about audience 2 and 3, and we're watching a movie, all this stuff, whatever this is, there's a greater purpose. And we are seeing that play out. And so if you are hungry for the truth, if you desire to learn and to grow and learn these things, you have to get rid of your preconceived notions. You have to open yourself up to the idea that something far-fetched or conspiracy and all this stuff, it may very well be possible for the sake of whatever the mission is. So I believe that whoever is faking death, they're dead, but they may come back later publicly, or they may choose to be dead, but you know what? It is what it is. They've done their purpose in life in some sense for this greater good, and we will see that. And so a lot of people are talking about this right now. This is kind of the talk of the town with regards to all the Epstein stuff coming out, as well as King Charles III recently with his cancer diagnosis and prognosis. And again, this is just what's publicly being shared, but there's something else going on behind the scenes. And so the Rothchild thing as well, be very careful what they say. The news, everybody, they say this is what happened. This is who died. This is how they blah, blah, blah. But again, if you can read between the lines, do some digging, listen to people, and discern between all of these different perspectives, if you want to call it, then you can get to a conclusion that's led by the Lord, led by the Holy Spirit, so that you can correctly interpret how to take in news. And I've said this before, for all these other things, what to eat, what to inject, how to go to school and learn certain things, what the news is of history, of what happened, current events, all of this stuff needs to be led by the Lord. And you're intentionally being confused, and it's not peaceful for you because God's trying to train many of us to hone in this muscle, to have better discernment of the world and of news. And if that means getting down the rabbit hole of conspiracy, so be it. Because again, some of the stuff that was deemed crazy conspiracy 5-10 years ago turned out to be true. So again, we learned our lesson with COVID. We learned our lesson through the whole Trump years, and now people are awakened to wanting to find out what it is. So I wanted to encourage you guys with this news, and just, more things are coming, guys. This whole year is going to be a crazy year, a circus show in some sense, but also a time of seeing what is hidden underneath. Everything that has been hidden will come to light, and it will be shown, and you have a choice to believe it or not. So again, I'm trying to reach my goal, guys, for my care package, gift package business, 1-2 Life. I am short a lot, and I would really love your support. I also updated my website. More products are going to come out. I have a donation section that in the give section is updated for monthly as well as one-time giving. I know people have been asking about that. And also I have much more coming out with regards to the 1-2 Life products. And again, my own portfolio of things. Some other things like the t-shirts that you see up right now, they're going to go down by the end of this month. So if you want to take advantage of it, please do so now. But also, I'll announce all this sometime this week. But some of the downloads and the calendars, all of that was updated. I have that updated right now, but more is coming. I have a lot that I need your support on because we need to reach the world. I really would love to go beyond this social media as well as talking to you guys like stage and offer some kind of products, a tangible way to show love. So this is the point of 1-2 Life, to live out the first and second greatest commandments. So more is to come. Love you guys. Be blessed. Be encouraged. Talk to you guys very soon.